Hi, and welcome to episode 2 of my Project 100 video series. Today I'll be sharing with you the many ups and downs that I experienced as I trained my way through the first month of 2024. There were certainly a few issues and niggles that I experienced, meaning I had to be proactive with managing my training plan, as well as learning to be patient and resourceful. On the other hand, my training became more specific after implementing HR zones as a way of assessing each training run. And so, I believe at the end of the month, my fitness is definitely developing at the right pace. With the recent acquisition of a HR monitor, I finally felt I was accurately able to tailor my effort to each training session type. From the start of the month, I aim to be hitting zones 4, 3 and 2 on my pace, training and long runs respectively. Although RPE is an effective tool of basing a run on, I wanted to use numerical data instead. As being a relatively new runner, I'm still getting to grips with listening to my body correctly. As the month progressed, I could see that my pace on these runs was gradually improving, which served as a confirmation that my training was going well. I quickly discovered that Wednesday's training runs were my favourite. Running at the top end of zone 3 meant the effort was challenging, but because I was able to maintain it for an hour or so, it left me feeling quite satisfied at the end. However, as you will see in the next few videos, these runs weren't always so successful. Hello and welcome from Wales. Today I'm in Carleon, a small town outside the city of Newport. I'm on a business trip, but I thought I'd take the evening and do a nice little evening run around a place I've never been to and in the country I haven't ran in before. So for tonight I've got a 8-mile session planned. It should be around 5 to 6 RPE, or maybe a little bit easier than that. But yeah, I'm hoping to be in that zone 3 of heart rate, so aiming for those 150s. And based on last week's run, I believe 8 miles should take me about 63 minutes. So we'll see how this goes. Hey, I'm back. Well, you probably can't see me. Well, let me tell you what's happened. All within 10 minutes. I lost my hotel room key, but I found it straight away. And then my lamp then died, hence you can't really see me. And then a couple of minutes later I was running down a narrow path and I fell over. And then a few minutes later I discovered I lost my gels as well. So yeah, it's been a bit exciting, but I'm down the Monmouthshire Canal, which was supposed to be lit, but it's not, is it? I'm about halfway through though, so I'm in good spirits, and yeah, I think I'll be back before I know it. So, my first run in Wales didn't go quite as planned. On top of this, I sustained a slight ankle injury when I fell over, meaning I had problems walking the following day. I decided to sit out Friday's training run, hoping I would be recovered for the Sunday's 80-mile effort instead. Saying that, most of the long runs in January had some problems of their own. On my first long run of the year, I ended up pulling both of my calves, and in the end didn't feel comfortable enough to do a fast-paced run the following Tuesday. The problem was partly caused by the fact I decided to do my long run on a muddy cross-country terrain, and this taught me the lesson that perhaps my body wasn't quite ready to hit the trails yet, and to remain patient for now. For my second long run of the month, I decided to do one of my favourite routes, which follows River Soar through the north parts of the city and into the Watermead Country Park. This run was also 16 miles long, which meant it was a good opportunity to start playing around with nutrition and hydration.
Unfortunately, I had a few issues with my GoPro on that run. I forgot to grab a spare battery, and the newly installed memory card was also playing up, meaning any footage above 20 seconds is unusable. So in a way, this run has also taught me to be more prepared when it comes to filming footage. The bigger problem, however, was my hip. After about mile 10, I started experiencing a lot of pain in my left hip, which really affected my gait. It's not something I have experienced on long runs before, so I was a bit confused by it. I thought perhaps maybe it was a result of inadequate stretching in the morning, or maybe a cramp due to low sodium levels. I hoped that by the next long run, the following week, which was an 80-mile effort, I would have mitigated these issues.
Hi everyone, it's Sunday, which means it's long run time again. Last week I followed the river saw all the way to Watermead Country Park, so I headed north through the city. It was a 16-mile run, which went pretty well. Considering I had a cramp in the last few miles, I was able to do it in about 2 hours 20. That swan scared me, as you can see. So yeah, apologies for that, totally threw me off balance. Anyway, last week was 16 miles, this week it's 18 miles. I'm going south this time. The weather's pretty nice, although it's supposed to get super windy. Unfortunately my heart rate monitor died, but last week I was able to stick to that zone 2, about 5 minutes 40 seconds per kilometre pace. So today I'll be trying to target that again. So yeah, this should be a nice scenic route. In terms of nutrition, I'm still experimenting with that. So what I found on my long runs is that often I get a bit sick of gels. So I thought I'd introduce some savoury carbs. So for my snacks today, I have 5 gels. I've also got a tortilla wrap with 1 teaspoon of Marmite and 1 teaspoon of mango chutney. Bit of an odd mixture, but hopefully it'll be nice and easy to eat on the run. Hydration, I've got half a litre of water, and I've made an electrolyte drink using the Tailwind product. So I've got 500 ml of that. So in total, for my nutrition, I have 200 grams of carbs and 1,600 milligrams of sodium. I'm hoping it will help with the carbs and the bunking later on in the run. But yeah, I'll keep you updated on that. For my breakfast this morning, I had my usual breakfast of Weetabix or porridge, 1 scoop of protein powder, 40 grams of peanut butter, 1 banana and some blueberries. Again, that delivered about, I believe it was 80 grams of carbs and about 900 milligrams of sodium, because I had an electrolyte tablet this morning as well. So yeah, hopefully this will work, but I'll keep you updated. Six miles down, 12 to go. We're about a third of the way, 55 minutes, so about 1 hour 50 left. Everything's going fine. I've been able to maintain a steady pace. I've got a slight niggle in my knee, but it's not getting any worse, so just keep an eye out on that. I've actually had some Tailwind nutrition drink for the first time. Yeah, it's pretty nice. It's not overly sweet, but it's got a lot of carbs in it. It's a good opportunity for me to get used to this drink, because at GB Ultras, this is what they serve at the aid stations. So yeah, I'm looking forward to trying out more flavours. So approaching halfway mark. I've got my savoury snack out, my weird creation of tortilla wrap, marmite and mango chutney. So let's see how it is. It's definitely weird, but I think it will do. So I'm about 2 hours in, I've got 6 miles left, feeling pretty fatigued. The last few miles were quite hard along the canal, really muddy, so I had to stop and walk a few times. It was too slippery, but I'm happy to be back on the road now. Not long to go. I've just finished in 2 hours 57 minutes. That was a lot tougher than I anticipated, both physically and mentally. I'm absolutely spent. The last few miles, my hip was so cramped up, really painful. I wanted to quit so many times, but instead I took two 2-minute walking breaks. I also took my jumper off, rehydrated, just took a minute to calm myself down, and I got the job done. So yeah, in the future I know if I'm going to hit low points again, I just need to regroup myself and I'll be okay.
That 80-mile run was very tough, but it was definitely something I was meant to experience. Previously on my long runs, I incorrectly felt that I had to run every single step, otherwise my effort wouldn't feel as proper. I think this is a somewhat egoistic and stressful approach to running, and it's also unrealistic because during marathons and other races, I'm going to reach aid stations, refill my water, so I might as well get used to stopping and going again. I reached some of my lowest points on this run. I lost a lot of confidence in myself after experiencing pain after, mile 12 onwards. It really made me think, if I can't do this run, how will I do a marathon, let alone an ultra marathon? However, after a few stops, a few moments to calm down, I was able to restart the run, and I completed it in just under 3 hours. I think this kind of resilience is important to build up, and at the end of the day, the mind plays a big role in completing ultras. A few hours later, I decided to calmly review my run. What things went right? What things went wrong? And most importantly, how can we fix these issues before the next run? I can see why a lot of runners keep journals. It's an effective tool of reviewing your runs, any pains that you encounter. After some research, I concluded that the most likely source of my pain came down to weak glutes. As this big muscle group becomes fatigued, it affects your gait, which in turn increases the impact on other muscle groups and areas of the body, which could explain my hip pain. After my injury in September, I missed a lot of weight training sessions in the gym, and when I did get back eventually, I concentrated on building my quad strength in order to help stabilize my knee. So I can definitely see why my glutes became weak over time and also affected my other areas of running. Although since December I have also been doing 1 to 2 hours of yoga and mobility training a week, perhaps these sessions were not specific enough. Therefore, following this and other frustrating long runs, I decided to implement more frequent, less impact mobility sessions into my plan. Doing these exercises just for 20 minutes every morning made a big difference. I found myself beating my personal best in 5k and also noted solid efforts in other runs. My last long run of the month at 50-mile route went very smoothly. I had no problems with my hip and was able to maintain a strong 5:15 pace, almost 30 seconds per kilometer faster than previously in the month. In conclusion, January was a pretty turbulent month, but one that I definitely needed to help me grow on this journey. Next month, I'll enter somewhat semi-taper as I rest before I do a 25-mile long run where I aim to test my nutrition and race tactics for the big day. However, more on this will be revealed later. So thank you for joining me in episode 2 of the Project 100 video series, and I will see you next month.